Money expert Dave Ramsey likes to say that personal finance is, well, personal, and he should know. He's lived success.
A personal money management expert, popular nationally syndicated radio and television host, and best-selling author.
And he's lived failure. As someone who in his 20s made and lost his first million, his message hits home for these Tennessee college students.
I'm just a regular guy who has messed up a whole bunch of times. We started with nothing, and so we ended up with all this real estate, but I'd borrowed too much money, and so I built a house of cards. You know, the Bible says, he who hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. Get rich quick, it'll kill you, man. It's bad news.
Dave's problem started in real estate, but for many of today's kids, the problem starts right here. Visit any college campus and you'll hear a similar story. Too much debt. According to one financial aid source, 2/3 of all undergraduates will leave college financially in the hole. As far as college graduates, some of them are saddled with up to $100,000 in debt or more. And that's before they ever start their career or even think about buying a house.
It's always in the back of my mind. Like, I always think about, I'm like, so, you know, the graduation date's always there. I'm like, okay, I'm going to graduate. And then, you know, all the payments start coming.
It's been tough to, you know, come out and just feel like, wow, you know, this is kind of what I've gotten myself into. But I believe in the long run, it's going to be worth it.
Or is it?
And so many times I meet people who've got $100,000 spent to get a PhD in, you know, German polka history or something. Oh my gosh, where are they going to get this money back?
Okay, class, time for some College Finance 101 with a couple of tips you probably didn't get in the classroom. Let's begin with you kids just planning for college. Dave says you don't have to go into debt to get an education. Instead, consider a school you can actually afford.
We've got to break the mindset that in order to be a student, you have to have a student loan. Instead, let's go back to the old-fashioned way of paying for it. And you actually can do that. It's difficult, but you can do it. It's called work.
It's also called scholarships and grants. Free money, if you will, that won't put you in the hole financially.
I think a big part of the problem is the preparation going into college, just learning more about grants and financial aid that you won't have to pay back.
Well, you've got to apply for scholarships. There's lots of them out there. You've got to take classes on how to take your SAT and ACT so that your scores come up, which qualifies you for more scholarships. You know, and then you get grants. I grant you the right to work while you're in school. WORK has not killed anybody.
But what can kill students financially is the mindset of entitlement.
Well, I think a lot of the students come into college automatically saying, oh, I just need to get a credit card, I need to get a car, a brand new car, not an old used one, need to, you know, get loans to pay for school.
I had a guy call me from Michigan the other day on my talk show, and he said, Dave, my 17-year-old told me he's going to this expensive school. What do I do about that? And I said, well, I think there's the problem. My 17-year-old doesn't tell me anything. Let's adjust that to start with. I'm going to tell him how life works, and especially if it's with my money.
Parents, no is a wonderful word, along with learning to get your own financial house in order. A great lesson to teach kids outside of the classroom. Now, for you students who are in college, don't put any extras on credit cards. I'm talking pizza and parties.
An interesting thing I was reading in state schools the other day is the average college student graduating this last year had $27,900 in student loan debt. And the interesting thing is that's about what they spent over 4 years to live off campus, in an apartment, to eat out, to attend social functions associated with college. And so really those dollars that drove them into debt were not education dollars, they were lifestyle dollars.
Ramsey suggests living on campus to save money all 4 years. And no, dorm food won't kill you. Now, for students and graduates already buried in debt, here's your financial plan for the next few years.
Well, the first thing is don't go buy a new car. Because when they graduate and they've got $90,000 in debt, they say, oh, I'm always going to have this debt, so I might as well get that car I've been waiting to get till I got out of college. And it just piles on. You need the car payment money to pay off the debt with. And so drive a beater, live in a one-bedroom apartment, live like a college student, lifestyle-wise, work like an animal.
And consider getting a second job just to pay for your debt. Don't try to get out of it or put it off until later.
But what happens is the intellect kicks in and we go, oh, it's a low interest rate. It's a small payment.
I can defer it.
I'm going to push it over here to the side and not think about it. And then I wake up and I'm 32 and I want to quit my job and go home and be with my 2 new babies, and I can't because I'm trapped, because the borrower is slave to the lender. You lose your choices.
The truth hurts, I know. But on the other side of truth is hope.
The truth is that it's going to take time. It's a process. It's not an event. And if you'll let it unfold over time, then you can start to get your hope back. You can start to get your sense of dignity back. You can start to realize that light at the end of the tunnel is not an oncoming train.
Carolyn Castleberry, CBN News.